Hey, what's going on, world? This is Motivation in Action coming to you live like we do. Live, 100% live. We're here at T-Posh Naturals in Jacksonville, Florida. I'm going to be going in a few moments. Catch up with Tyresha Nelson. She is a alkaline, just a healthy, I don't even want to get into it. I'll let her tell you all about it. But before we go in, let me just tell you this. If you're catching this, you got any questions that you want to ask about health, healing, herbs, teas, eating, anything, Tyresha is the person to talk to. She's the person to ask the questions to. So ask your questions and let's get it in. So Motivation in Action, we live. We going in here to talk to Tyresha Nelson. So let's go. Let's see what's going on. I'm going to switch this camera around, get it off of me, and we're going to go. All right. Hey, everybody. What's up? So we're all here. This is Tyresha Nelson, and we are here at T-Posh. Say hi. Say it. Everybody. Hello, everybody. Hi, 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 hi. So.
Hi.
Say hi. Introduce yourself.
Okay. Well, I'm Tyresha Moore, and I'm the founder of T-Posh Naturals at 1274 State Street West. And welcome home to T-Posh.
Take a quick look around.
Come on, let's take a around.
Okay.
So we do a lot of events in here surrounded about different topics on the African Biomineral Balance, so that way we can bring real healing to the people of our city. And this is our, sitting lounge area over here. We have every second Friday we have Chop It Up, where we have live events. Third Friday is open mic. A lot of people come in. They have seats at this table, have beautiful conversations on healing, on conscious conversations. We are always having a great time here at T-Posh.
Okay, good. So you just said something. I'm really ready to dive into this, so we can go to our interview spot.
Okay, well,
we'll get it
go.
in. So good. All right, cool.
But I run this place when
and I'm waiting for my food to come because I really want some chicken wings and fries. Some wings and fries. We covered. Okay. Are you coming? Okay, good with me. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna switch this around for a second. Okay.
It's a mess, but well.
No, you're okay. You're good. You're good. Okay. We go.
All right.
Do we pull this close?
Yep, you can close that too.
So before we go ahead and grab my stuff right before we get started, we're gonna get into this. You said something right off the bat that's interesting, and a lot of people may not know. African Biomineral Balance.
Correct.
Just talk to us. Talk to us about that.
Okay. Well, what the African Biomineral Balance is you can see this man behind me. His name is Dr. Sebi, and he was a holistic doctor from Honduras. And what he did was created or put together some time into study to find out what is equivalent to the African body, our genome system, our DNA, and our culture. It's not that we're better or worse. It's just that we're different. We're different people. We have different components, different cultures, different mindsets. So he just put forth that study to find out what was different and most important about us. And with the African Biomineral Balance, it teaches us the history of who we are a little bit, where we come from, and why it's important for us to transition into the African Biomineral Balance to bring healing to our bodies so we can then truly live in our purpose and become who we are.
So who we're meant to be. I'm familiar with Dr. Sebi. I started following Dr. Sebi in 2016.
Okay.
So a couple of years ago. And I know for me, I was close to 300 pounds.
Right.
Diabetes through the roof, blood pressure through the roof.
Yep, I remember.
You remember? Dealing with stress and anxiety, and probably because of all these things, we already have enough stress in the world alone, but then when your health starts to, take a part in it, it pulls on you more. So I don't recall how I learned about Dr. Sebi. I just remember being very intrigued with his African Biomineral balance. He had like a Sebi list.
Right.
So I said, okay, I'm gonna try this. Right. So everything on there, and he talked about being alkaline.
Yes.
Okay. Tell us what it is to be alkaline.
Okay. Well, when you go to the doctor and you have your blood work done, you always have something on your blood records that says pH. And that pH is an identification if your body is acidic or if it's alkaline. Now, the alkalinity means that everything is running perfectly. Just if you think about it this way as I proceed with the story, when you get your car battery, you have to have an alkaline battery in your car in order for your car to operate properly. Well, that is the same thing for the body. We need alkaline foods and alkaline substance in our body for our bodies to operate properly. So in order for us to get ourselves to the natural state of being, we have to put the body in a position to heal itself by cleansing, remineralizing the body, and getting to an alkaline state. Once your body is in an alkaline state, then that means your immune system is up to par. Your body is properly working to fight cancer, to fight diseases, could fight mucus buildup in the body. Your immune system is so up to where your body is fully equipped to fight any type of viral bacterial infections that may come into your body, because some things we just cannot avoid. But if your body is in an alkaline state, that means you don't have a lot of acid inside. Your organs are able to operate in its natural state of being. So this is why you guys may be hearing a lot about alkaline this, alkaline that, but we really want to get to a point where we understand that once our body is in an alkaline state, then that means we can be healthy. Our bodies is working in its natural state of being, and we can avoid some of these illnesses and kind of heal ourselves to get off some of these medications, and we can actually have the energy that we need to fulfill our purpose in life. It's a whole lot that goes with bringing your body to an alkaline state. A lot of times if you are dealing with cancers or some severe diseases, that means that your body, your pH number inside is more than likely on an acid basis. And when you have a lot of acid buildup in the body, there has to be a buildup of mucus. And that mucus is kind of suffocating your organs inside, so where your organs can't operate properly. So you're in the African Biomineral Balance, it teaches us to reverse that by getting the mucus out of the body, alkaline the body, so we can be fully healthy.
Okay, so that's interesting. We talking about alkalizing the body so we can be healthy. We want to oxygenate. Is that the right word? Like we want our body to be, if I'm right, our body to have to be in an oxygen field, like because diseases can't operate in a body where there is oxygen,
sufficient amount of oxygen. Right.
So we get that through the foods that we eat.
Right. It is a lot of the food. So, for example, when I began this study, what I noticed, the different layers and the crevices of the earth are made of things like sodium, chromium, zinc, manganese, and things of this nature. Well, the body is made of the same minerals. So this is why when we're eating foods that are alkaline, that naturally comes from the earth with seeds, when we're eating these types of foods, it naturally contains exactly what the body is made of. So when we eat these foods, it knows exactly where to go in the body to electrify the body so our body can operate normally. And a lot of the herbs does have oxygen. Our bodies are working through oxygen. Our bodies is also operating through our cells. And what we learn to do with the African Biomineral Balance is learn to transition ourselves to feed the cells and not the body. Because a lot of the food that we eat are feeding the body, but it's not giving the body the sufficient amount of minerals and the nutrients that it needs to work at its optimal state. So we're learning little bit by little bit. We're weaning ourselves from one position to the other by just transitioning to these foods that does have a lot of oxygen, like the sea moss gel. And the sea moss period, whether it's in powder form or gel form, it is like oxygen in a bottle. It goes right to the red blood cells to be able to regenerate your body, to bring up your immune system. It helps with thyroid issues. It helps with pain in the body. There's a lot of things that the sea moss does help with, and that is pretty much oxygen in a bottle. And then you have herbs like the sarsaparilla, the burdock, the stinging nettles. All these herbs also provide the body with a sufficient enough of oxygen to be able to operate naturally. So that's why it's important for us to remineralize our body by consuming foods as well as herbs to keep our bodies up to par.
So I remember watching the Dr. Sebi video, peace to the ancestor and respect. But I remember watching Dr. Sebi, and he said that the body will heal itself.
Yes.
And I think that was a part of really what kind of struck me.
Right.
Real quick, so I met T-Posh via Facebook, right? Mm-hmm. I was panicking and stressing.
Yes, he was.
Blood pressure was crazy high. Mm-hmm. A1C was high. They wanted to put me on insulin. Mm-hmm. I was like sitting right on top of 300 pounds. And she was be posting these things about these herbs, and she had the King's packet and the Queen's packet, all these different herbs and stuff. And I didn't really know what all I needed. So right. I would, call. Yep. She gave me her number, and I was bugging her all the time.
Yes,
she made herself available for me.
Yes, he was.
And
can I interrupt?
You can.
Don't forget what you're gonna say though.
Go. You can.
So this is such the funny part. I am so amazed with a few reasons of doing this interview with Mr. Wilson, because I don't know. Maybe Stacy will chime in. Stacy is the admin in the Sapient Alkaline Hall as well.
Okay.
But when Arthur Wilson joined us, he was a little difficult.
I need some help.
I need some help. I was like, you cannot eat no meat. Mr. Arthur was like, I don't know about that. And then he used to come and my pressure's still up. And well, what did you eat? Well, I did eat a lot of salt. No salt, Mr. Wilson.
Yeah.
So he used to call all the time because I like to be readily available. Nowadays, since things have gotten so bigger than expected, I'm not always available as I was when I started.
Right.
But I was always readily available. I tell people all the time, send me a text, call me if you need help. And he surely used that opportunity because he called me all the time.
I did.
So for those of you that know his journey, like this is one of the most amazing testimonies that I'm doing this interview with because it was a hard time for you in the beginning.
I need to chime in to say that it's been 2 years since I've had any meat. She pushed. And there were other people that was very instrumental. Yes. But Ty really pushed and helped, and you're always available, and I really do appreciate you for that. I remember when I first learned that you were in Jacksonville, I was happy. I was like, yes, because it's really good to have somebody close. It's close. So I appreciate you, and I'm here. I'm not here every day, but I come in and I get my my wings and my chicken and my fries and different things. I had the pulled no pork barbecue and it's good. I'm telling you, eating healthy is a transition if you're not used to it, but you can do it.
You can do it.
It can definitely be done. So this is what I wanted to say. These herbs she's talking about, I've done it. I'm doing them. And I'm telling you, some of those herbs are the most, that yellow dock, that stuff right there, man, it'll just make you it is terrible.
Yeah.
But the benefits that come with it.
Yes.
And I think as a people, we need to learn to eat for health and not for flavor.
Right.
But we're learning because, things are changing and we're learning. The Dr. Sebi list it seems a little short, but you can work it. But you can be healthy and the food can taste good. It can.
Yes.
So this is what I want to know. Maybe they're interested to know too. What started you on this journey to help other people to do this?
Well, I've always been a person that naturally just like helping people. That's how I fuel myself. That's just in my character. That's just who I've always been, regardless of what the topic is. I left Jacksonville. I'm from Jacksonville, and I left 12 years ago, and I moved to South Florida. And I have been an educational counselor for the last 10 years.
Okay.
So I had already, started helping people in major ways where I would help people determine what their career was and then stay with them until they graduate, and even sometimes help them start off that career.
Okay.
So it's just already woven in me and my background. My family is from Panama City, Florida, and we just have a family full of angels, so to say.
Okay.
We more than likely are the people that will do the impossible, because we have an atonement just to do what God tells us to do. So if you've never met an angel before, someone, that person that just come to do this unbelievable favor for you, more than likely I'm one of those people that will do that. And with this particular journey, I was sick myself.
Okay.
I had been diagnosed with PCOS pretty much all of my adulthood life. PCOS. A lot of women may be dealing with PCOS, which is an imbalance of the hormones.
Okay.
And there's a lot of different factors that ties into PCOS, and I had been diagnosed with that, and I was dealing with that throughout my entire adulthood life.
Okay.
And when I was 37, I woke up and my eyes was swollen like blowfish.
Wow.
Like, what's going on with my eyes? And it was scaled, like I had bites and cracks in my eyes. And I went to the doctors, and no doctor can tell me what was going on with my eyes. So since I like to study and I like to read, I don't watch TV whatsoever. I like to read. I like to learn new things, because I'm also the type of person, if someone asks me a question, if I don't know the answer, I don't want to be asked that question a second time and don't know the answer.
Right.
So I'm the type of person, I'll go research.
You're a researcher. Okay.
So I went on to do my research to find out what was going on with my eyes myself. And I came across a book called Wheat Belly.
And Wheat
Belly.
Okay, I think I've heard of that book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's right there. You want to get it so I can show it?
Oh, you
right
can.
there.
I see it. I tell you what. I'll get it. You
Okay,
get it.
you get it. So I read Wheat Belly, and with reading that book by William Davis, that showed me how the food in America had started to change in the 1950s. And all of my symptoms that I was having, the swelling of the eyes, rash on the skin, a discoloration in the face. This is a book right here, Wheat Belly. Let me put it closer so that way you guys can see it. And with this book, the discoloration of my skin, I had patches on the sides of my legs, and I would go through this periodic manic depression moments just for no reason.
Wow.
And all of those symptoms was in this book. And that's when I learned how the food in America started to change in the 1950s. And from going there, I then ran into Dr. Sebi and challenged his studies.
So, can I see this book for a second? So, it's called Wheat Belly. Somebody referred it. No, did anybody refer to it? You just, how'd you get it?
Who? No, I don't remember
just ran
how
across
I
it?
may have just ran across it.
Well, this is what's interesting to me. On this book, you have all these different, what looks to be bagels.
Yes.
And they all appear to be healthy. Sesame seed, wheat, just, you know, the whole oat things. Mm-hmm. Is that healthy? Is that...
Well, you know, I can go deep now, so let me go deep.
Let's go. We're here. This is what we're doing.
So here's the thing, and I'm glad you asked that question, because I like for people to, and don't believe me, take everything that I'm saying and use this as a source for keywords in your own study so you can identify and be able to help the people around you when I tell you. But at least I'll give you a head start and tell you where to begin. Well, what this book taught me is when you grow natural wheat, right? The wheat grows very tall, and it's very hard to pull the kernels off the top of that wheat. So manufacturers back in those days found that it wasn't conducive for them to produce wheat and provide this as a substance to the masses, because it was the labor to produce the wheat was just way too much. It's too long, too tall, and it's extra labor to be able to harvest this wheat. So there was a scientist, his name is in the book, I can never remember it, but his name is in this book. This scientist created what we called a dwarf wheat. And this wheat then grows short, and the kernels fall off of the top of the top of the stalk. So this dwarf wheat was super easy. They can make it whenever they want. It is in fact a synthetic wheat. However, according to William Davis, until he did his research and started this book, he found that there was 14 different chromosomes in the dwarf wheat that no one took the initiative to find out how those 14 different chromosomes would affect the human body. Wow. So now going forward, we are now seeing how those 14 different chromosomes are affecting the human body. Because if you remember now, back in those days, or a little bit after, maybe the 60s, 70s, and 80s, they were telling us to don't eat white rice, go to brown rice.
Right.
No white bread, go to brown bread.
Right.
And things of this nature. But that was a form of that synthetic wheat. That's called the dwarf wheat. And now it's plentiful. They can make as much as they want. So now wheat is in pretty much everything.
Right,
Sometimes even a liquid. So I said to myself, just consciously being aware to myself, things that make sense. Well, why are they putting wheat in liquids, and why is it in everything? Because now it's a bit of a preservative that could make foods hold on a little bit longer and stay on the stands a little bit longer. And so with that mass production of this dwarf wheat, that's in mostly all of our substance in our kitchen and our cabinets, and the things that we're eating is now wheat. You have a lot of people that are dealing with celiac disease. You have a lot of people that are not able to eat products that has gluten present, and may even have gluten sensitivity. So if you are having large dry patches that are popping up on your skin, if you have the excessive belly in the front that you just absolutely cannot get away from, if you're having the manic depression moments, if you're having even any mental disorders like bipolar or ADHD, and a lot of the mental disorders are a huge component from the consumption of wheat. And all of that, all the demonstration, the case studies, and all of that is in this book. To give you another example, in this book, they did a study where they went to a psychiatric unit, I may be saying that wrong, but a mental facility, and they removed wheat from the diet of those patients. And those patients were okay, no outbursts, no episodes, no hallucinations, and everybody is at its calm state.
Wow.
So they were so surprised of the results of removing wheat from the facilities of what happened, so they put the wheat back. And sure enough, hallucinations returned, outbursts returned, and all of these things returned with the patients. Again, they're surprised, so they removed the wheat again, just to really see if this is so real.
Wow.
And I know some of you are looking at this like, come on now, so my child has ADHD and it's all because he eating donuts and cookies. Absolutely correct, because it's in this book.
Wow.
And that's just how strong the chemicals and the things that we're eating in this food really does have a control over our beings, from the way that you thought, your actions, if you're patient, if you're angry all the time, it's because there's a buildup of toxicity. You need to be cleansed a little bit so you can come to clarity of who you really are. Wow. So just that simple. Wheat, your bread, your cookies, anything in your kitchen that has wheat in it is causing some type of detrimental state in the long term in all of our bodies.
Wow. So it was November, just before Thanksgiving, November 20th. Is it before Thanksgiving?
That's before Thanksgiving.
Oh, it's October 20th. October 20, 2016, when I said, that's it, no more meat. No more meat. But my mentality was, eat everything else but meat. Now, that was just starting off, right? So I loaded up with breads. You know, and I try to do the healthier choices, the wheats, the sesame seed. You know, if I went to Subway, I'd have them, you know, pull the bread out. So I try to keep it as close to what we call healthy as possible. But the whole thing was to get full with not using meat, and I think that lasted probably about maybe 4 to 6 months before I began to get a little bit of clarity and to see what was going on. Because when the clarity comes from stop eating meat, and a lot of people say, well, you know, I need meat, you got to have the proteins and different things like that. But I remember going to see a nutritionist in Jacksonville, so I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say their name, but I won't. So I won't. And the lady, she told me, she said, well, if you're not eating meat, but you're still eating bread, you're still causing damage.
You're causing damage.
And we don't, you know, you don't realize that the journey, you just don't start from 1 and jump to 100. It's a step. I'm still on the journey.
You wing yourself, right.
So I started doing the herbs and the teas, and that's what I want to talk about. Like, how beneficial is it to have the herbal teas?
Right.
How beneficial is that?
Well, I'm glad you segmented that question into this, because this is perfect from what we were talking about before. okay, when you're eating the wheats, and your chocolates and your candies and things of these natures, these foods do not assimilate with the body. Nothing in those foods that we're eating is made of what the body is made of. So when your body consumes these things, it's trying to figure out. But like, say for example, when you do eat your heavy Thanksgiving dinner and you want to lay down and go to sleep, or you eat Sunday and you have to lay down and go to sleep because you're super tired, like you ran around the corner. Well, that's because your organs are in the inside are instead of working overdrive or overworking itself, trying to figure out what am I going to do with these things that is now present in my body. It's not made of anything in my body, so it doesn't have anywhere to go. So this is why a lot of these foods that is not digesting in our body is just storing. Sometimes it's fat, or it stores sometimes as acid in the bones and the blood and things of that nature, because it has nowhere to go.
Wow.
Now, when you're eating these foods, because the body is made of minerals, the body is made of iron, the body is made of zinc, the body is made of magnesium, and so it's 102 minerals the body is made of. And when you are consuming the things like the herbs, the sea moss, and of these things have these minerals present in it. So when you consume it, then it knows exactly where to go in the body to electrify the body so the body can operate properly, which means the body is now satisfied.
Wow.
So this is a lot of times when you're consuming the sea moss and a lot of the herbs, your appetite goes away. Because what is happening is when you consume it, it fits, it knows exactly where to go, it assimilates, so the body is charged, you have energy, you're not working overdrive, and you can continue to move and your body is satisfied. Now what's happening when we do eat the breads and the meats of this nature, not only is the body is overworking itself to process these things doesn't fit anywhere, so it's not satisfying the body in any way. It might be your food.
Good night, everybody.
All right, good night. Thank you.
Good night.
Hey, thank you.
It's hot sauce.
Alkaline Ranch.
I want all that.
Okay. We got alkaline ranch.
Okay, this is work. We'll take. Thank you. Thank you.
And now he just has his alkaline chicken and fries we'll talk about.
Already is together.
Okay.
Get ready.
That's good. Okay. So we
Mom,
talking
you
about.
need a table.
Can I interrupt? We talking about alkaline food. I
You
got
see it?
wings. I got chicken. I got fries, and all the dips are alkaline, right?
Yes.
And I've had this 1,000 times. I'm typically. I gotta. Can I
Yeah,
get this?
please enjoy
Okay, go
yourself,
ahead.
because I'm gonna talk right into this plate that he's eating.
I thought he said he don't eat meat.
He does not eat meat, and that's not meat.
Good.
So when you're eating the foods that the body assimilates with, it satisfies the body. Now, there's a reason when you eat one Oreo out the Oreo pack, you have to eat the whole pack. There's a reason why when you have a bag of potato chips, you eat maybe 2 potato chips and you got to eat the whole bag. That's because the substance that you're eating is not satisfying the body in any way. So the body is still hungry. The body still wants more. Now, what would happen, like when you said that you would eat the bread is just temporary fulfilling. So you feel full, but in another hour or two, you're right back hungry again because it's not satisfying or assimilating in the body properly. But again, when you're consuming alkaline foods that are made of the minerals, and you're consuming herbal teas that also have the mineral content in it, that appetite begins to decrease because you're eating foods that satisfy the system, if that makes sense. Now, I'm going to give you another example.
This is so hot. It's good, but it's hot.
So hot.
It's spicy.
Yes. This right here is this right here. This is a hot sauce that our mad scientist Naja Bea, she makes this with vegetables and habanero.
Oh my God.
That's it.
Oh Lord, I know.
And it's nice and hot.
That's good for your sinuses. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's okay. It's okay. Now, one thing that you did mention earlier that I wanted to jump into too about this food. Now, back in the slavery day for African culture, when our ancestors came over from Africa, they didn't bring their food with them. They had to learn how to prepare the food that was given to them, which is the scraps of the foods of the masters and the people that they were sold to. Now, we're so brilliant of the people, it's scientifically proven that the brain capacity of African American people is 10% higher than any other race. So we're so brilliant as a people. We took those scraps and we made delicacies out of it. And we made soul food. But yet again, this soul food does not assimilate. It doesn't help to remineralize the body, and it's causing a lot of the illnesses that we are dealing with when we get of age. And nowadays, because the foods are so contaminated with different chemicals and things of that nature, we now are dealing with babies and young adults that are dealing with extreme diabetes and high blood pressure, eczema, and things of this nature because of the content in the foods that we are consuming. But just how those our ancestors as slaves took those straps and made delicacies out of it, this is what's happening in the alkaline world when it comes to food. We're taking that small minimum list that Dr. Sebi has gifted and blessed us with, and many people will feel that that list is very, very limited. However, the brilliancy of our minds with people like Carl Foster, Crush Foster, people like Deandra Green with Alkaline Vegan Mommy, Food for Nagus with Shanila Cordes, Chef Aki, Chef Cheryl Vibrant Alkaline in South Carolina.
What about Ty?
Ty's Conscious Kitchen, which
Ty.
is the master of it all. These people have taken their brilliance and taken that small list and help us all to learn and cultivate ways to prepare that small list with every favorite food that we could ever think of. So what he's enjoying today is our alkaline mock mushroom chicken, which is made from an oyster mushroom. And your only natural source of vitamin D comes from the sun and mushrooms. So although he's eating...
Okay.
So although he feels that he's enjoying his mock chicken that tastes like chicken, some people say it tastes like chicken, some people say it tastes like fried gizzards. I don't know. I have to say chicken.
Oh, from the chicken, right.
You know? So he said we've taken that mock chicken and we make it taste so good that's similar to what you would enjoy, because this is how you can work and move in your mindset. And when you cleanse yourself, your creativity begins to birth itself. And whatever it is that you're here to do, it will birth itself to its full fruition. Now also, his French fries. His French fries is from a barrel banana. And the barrel banana is the original banana. There are some concerns with the regular Chiquita banana that you're normally used to that does not have seeds in the middle. But your barrel bananas, the seeds are present. You can see them. And when you fry them when they're green, they taste just like French fries.
That they do.
And these things we've gotten from those chefs that I just called out to you. They have shared the knowledge, and then you take on and you put your spin in it, and now you have your favorite meal just in a different way. And think about it. Two things I want to point out. Two things. If you take your chicken that you love so much, right, your chicken wings, and you absolutely do not put any seasoning on that chicken wing, none, right? You are not going to eat it, because the food, the base of the food comes from the way that you season your food. How does it taste on the taste bud? That's basically what you are more than likely addicted to. Because so what is happening now, we're replacing the chicken with an oyster mushroom, and a lot of times we season it just the same way. And when you put cayenne pepper in anything, not for the spice, but just give it a flavor, it tastes so good. So just like for Thanksgiving dinner here at Teapot Naturals, we had a huge Thanksgiving dinner, and we had the oxtail, we have the jerk chicken, we have the barbecue pulled no pork that he mentioned earlier, and it's the same mushrooms, but we season it the way that you would normally season the foods that you enjoy to eat. So things like if you want a meatloaf, Ty's Conscious Kitchen will lay out a way for you to make a meatloaf. If you want a chicken pot pie, Food for Nagus, Shanila Cordes has a video on YouTube that teaches you how to make your pot pie, and it tastes really good, like really good. If you want a burger, I mean, Cheryl in South Carolina, Vibrant Alkaline Mills has a beautiful burger. It tastes so good, and I traveled there to eat. She even made me some chickpeas that was almost like potato, like okra a little bit, like they were fried a little bit. They were so good. So learning from these different chefs that have just moved mountains for us in this alkaline world, they don't even know how important they are and how effective their work has been and their creativity has been, because they are just like our ancestors that took a little of nothing and made something. And this is just a new way for us. So a lot of you that cannot even fathom not eating meat, or you can't even just fathom joining the alkaline world, soon enough it is coming, because it is growing so big. More and more people are truly healing themselves. There are a lot of people that still don't believe, but they are truly healing themselves. And I can talk, but this is my last notion I want you guys to pay attention to. And the the American Medical Encyclopedia, when you define protein, when your medical physicians define protein in the encyclopedia, it says that protein is accumulation of muscle, glands, and organs. All of our bodies are made of muscle, glands, and organs. And we have all been conditioned to think and believe that we need to consume more muscle, glands, and organs for our body to operate. Well, if we continue to put muscle, glands, and organs on top of our own muscle, glands, and organs over years and years, eventually it's just going to be too much muscle, glands, and organs. The body can only handle so much. So this is what was happening to me at 37. I had been eating all these foods for 37 years at the time. And my body got to the point and said, no, I don't know what else to do with this anymore. I don't know what else to do. And it just wanted to come out some type of way. So it started blowing up and giving me an indication in my eyes. Now, what if I had ignored that? More than likely, I would have been a cancer recipient.
Wow.
Or high blood pressure or something.
Wow.
Some of these things that run in my family line, because they like to tell us that things are genetic. But I said, I'm not doing that. I'm going to go this different way. I challenged what Dr. Sebi gifted us with. And by gosh, that is the only thing that really, really works. And I'm just a little girl from Sherwood, right here in Jacksonville, Florida. I don't have no credits. We are not getting paid for this. Okay?
No, we're not.
I'm just
doing
telling
it for you. Right.
What works.
Right.
And the only way, there's nobody ever that has ever tried the African Biomineral Balance can tell you that it didn't work. Wow. Nobody can tell you that. I tried the HCG. I tried the Weight Watchers. I was just about to go to Dominican Republic from a little surgery session right before I started this too. So this thing is the only thing that works, but it happens with a transition.
So let me interject. And I know motivation and action is not about me, but let me give this. I was a diabetic, and when I first got diagnosed, they said immediately they wanted to put me on insulin. Mm-hmm. I didn't even know I was a diabetic. So I asked the doctor, no, give me some time. I didn't know where I was going to go. I didn't know what I was going to do. I just don't like needles. And I remember growing up as a kid, I had some family members that were diabetics, and they would give themselves shots. So I didn't want to do that. I went to the classes, I studied, and then I saw what this stuff could be reversed. They put me on glipizide, they put me on metformin, these big pills and little pills. And I'd have to go every 3 months to get my blood drawn. I had to prick my finger like 3 or 4 times a day. I went through that whole process. And then I started thinking about or studying about reversing this thing. I started thinking about and how changing your diet, the herbs. Then I started thinking about the consequences of, what happens, my granddad had both his legs amputated. Right. Right. And so the things that come with it. And statistics say in the next maybe 5, maybe 10 years, 1 out of every 2, maybe 3 people will be diabetics. And kids, they call it now juvenile diabetes now. Right. So I said, no more, I'm not taking the medicine. I stopped taking the medicine. And that takes a bold step. Yes. I stopped taking the medicine. I started just, doing the herbs, doing the herbs. And I'm doing everything. And I never told the doctors. I have a sister that's, works in the medical field. She said, if you're not going to take the medicine, don't tell the doctors. So I stopped taking the medicine at that time. And I didn't tell the doctors. So they sent a letter to my house. And they said, we need you to come in. And we want to talk to you about your numbers. I remember thinking, uh-oh, they're going to tell me I'm about to pass out. Like, I needed some help. You know how I get when I, so I talked my wife into, I said, come on, go with me. We went, I'm sitting there, and these 3 doctors walk in. They walk in, and they had these charts, and we want to talk to you about your numbers. And I'm like, and they wouldn't tell me anything over the phone. So I'm sitting there, and they say, your numbers have come down so low. What we want to do is double up on your medicine so we can hurry up and get you off of it. I said, you guys called me here to tell me that my numbers are better and you want to double up on my medicine? And they said, yeah. I said, you couldn't tell me that over the phone? They said, no, we want you to come in. So what we're doing is increasing your medicine so we can get you all the way where you need to be. The last time I had my A1C checked, it was 4.2, right? When I first got diagnosed, it was like 10 or 12 or something, how they want to put me on insulin. Like, it's 4.2. Now, haven't had any medicine, anything. But what they didn't know at the time was I wasn't taking the medicine. But my numbers dropped. It came down and I was like astonished. And that was it for me. I said, oh, this is it. This is where I'm going to be. And the journey didn't just, it just didn't stop. I mean, it's always that, that desire for whatever. But when you see, take the little steps and then you realize where you're going, you're like, oh, this is working.
Right.
And then nobody else can tell you anything different because you know. So I know that this works. This is not anything somebody told me. I know. I reached out to you and several other people, Auntie Peaches. I mean, it was different ones that I reached out to. They were giving me herbs, giving me advice, giving me consoling, saying, calm down, relax, breathe, type thing. So, but I know it works. I know it works. So, I want to take a commercial break right quick and just say, if you're watching this and you like it, please comment, share, give me some love, some likes, because this is some really good stuff. If there's any questions on there, anybody got, if you have family members, friends that that needs to hear this and needs to, see this, share it. Tag them, tell them to come and get this. So,
that's right.
So when did you decide that you want to get into the whole meal preparation thing? How did all this come about? Right. Yeah.
I'm glad you asked that question. And I really hope this moves someone that is watching this in regards to where you are in your own life and knowing your passion. And a lot of people are kind of undecided or unsure of what they're here for, don't know what they like to do, don't know what your hobbies are, or maybe there's a passion that you've been dreaming about, but you're kind of stuck in your current life situation. You got to work every day and you got to do other things, and there's so much going on that keeps you away from your passion. So first and foremost, I have to give credit to Dr. Sebi with the African Biomineral Balance, because when I did my first 21-day fast, September 1st, 2016, all I did was on day 21 was make a video on how good I felt. And when you are in a 21-day fast, there's 3 phases that you go through in a fast. One is your process of elimination, which is week 1, and we're coming up on a fast in the Sabian Alkaline Hall here for January 1st. 2, you also build into your creativity, and there's a spirituality component to doing a 21-day fast. And in my 3rd week, I had a spiritual awakening at that time. And that spiritual awakening kind of aligned me to just do it. Just to be there to help people and to service people. So when I got my herbs for the first time, I actually spent $160 for it. But it was a few people around me that could not afford to spend $160 for the herbs. So as I was just moving around, I just out of the blue ran into a lady at a market, and she had everything. She had everything that I had, and none of the herbs was really over $5 or $6 an ounce. And I'm like, wow. So my friend ended up buying the same herbs that I had at the time, and she only spent maybe like $60 versus me spending $160. And because of the way that I felt and the spiritual awakening that I received on the end of my fast, and I saw how affordable the herbs were, I was like, wait a minute. Everybody needs to experience this. This is what is wrong with our culture. This is why we're so sick. This is why we can't come together and unify. It's because we're also, need to be cleansed. And we also don't have the right components or the right things to, feed our bodies to get us there, to electrify our bodies. And I was determined to just get this out to everybody. So this young lady in the market began to teach me about the herbs, and she provided me with an opportunity to get $200 worth of herbs, so that way I can provide this to people that could afford it.
Wow.
At the time.
Wow.
And so all I did, and I'm pretty sure because we have a lot of the same following, so at least the first 10 Tea Posh customers, it was based on a $200 buy-in with several different herbs, and it was the herbs that I use for my fast. And again, I'm the type of person, if you ask me a question I don't know the answer, I'm going to go research.
Yeah.
So my research got really heavy, where I started researching the herbs. I started sending herbs and stuff to the labs with me and a team of people in the Sabian Alkaline Hall. We then created the Sabian Facebook group called the Sabian Alkaline Hall, where it just allowed me to learn more and feed more to the people. And when I did that, it grew like really big. Like right now the group is over 37,000 people.
Wow.
I miss you guys. I haven't been on like I was supposed to, but it's over 37,000 people. And from that point, I was working and I was making good money. Again, I was an educational counselor for 10 years. And for that last year, it really bothered me. I was troubled going to work every day, knowing that I had to study a herb, knowing I had to help somebody with the herbs that they're taking, and continue with my own transition. It became too much, so I got to the point where I wasn't doing so well at work, and things happened, life happened out of my control, to where I end up returning home to Jacksonville. And when I came here, I just needed to have a commissary kitchen to legally continue to send the herbs out all over the world, because I was shipping herbs pretty much everywhere. So whoever needed them and could afford them, I would make sure that I get them out to you, and then help you and consult you and get you to the point where you can understand what you're doing, and help you understand how you wean yourself from one place to the other, and make it work for you through identifying your own personal behaviors and patterns. And with doing that, I returned home. I just needed a commissary kitchen. I walked into Island Tropics on Main Street, and shout out to Miss Sydney Burrell. I said, are you interested in renting a kitchen out to me? Because I'm an herbalist and I need to send my people with herbs, but I need to make sure I'm legal with doing it. And she was like, I got a building for you.
That's good.
She was like,
that's
meet me at this address on Sunday. And she said, if you don't come, don't bring your ass back over here. And I was like, no, I'm coming.
I'll
coming.
bet her. That's it. I'll bet
Yes,
her.
you did.
Okay.
So I came to the building, and she looked at me, and I've never met this lady before. And she looked at me and she said, I don't know where you've been or what you've been doing, but whatever you thought was coming in 10 years is coming right now.
Wow.
And the building just so happened to have come with a cafe component. And since I'm licensing myself, I just license everything all at one time, because I didn't know what the plan was, or I didn't know what it was going to turn out to be, because the only thing I was doing was online videos in the group and sending out herbs and teaching people. That's it. And so since the cafe was here, yet again, the Most High start sending resources, like Chantel Woods and Naja Baya, and the many people that have come in to help. And then they too have adapted the African Biomineral Balance mentally, and they have taken the studies and the things that Ty's and Cheryl and Shanila and Carl Foster has taught us, and they have taken these things and made it their own in different ways, and provided this to our community. When I said I felt that this was so important for everybody to get this, it just came to me, I need to take this home to my own community, because I just can't see myself finding something that I know that really works and don't offer the information to people that needs it even more than I did.
Wow.
So I put my all into it. And this is me at this point, just allowing God to use me as He sees fit.
Right. Okay.
So a lot of the things that happen, the ideas that come about, is nothing that I have planned out. It's nothing that I saved a whole lot of money for. It's nothing that I've just been thinking about this for years, because I've been thinking about law school, to be honest with you. This is me have gotten out of my own way and just started with what I had and just did a little bit. And the more little bit that I did, the most high, the universal energies then brought the missing pieces right to me, like effortlessly. One thing Dr. Sebi taught me and has taught us all, stop believing in everything and knowing everything.
Right.
Start knowing that you will be successful. Start knowing that whatever your dream and passion is, it will happen.
Yes.
Not it can happen,
Yes.
or not hopefully one day it'll happen, or not, well, I thought about that, but I'm too old now. If you have a knowing about yourself and know that your greatness is coming to fruition, and you know this without a shadow of a doubt, it will happen. And the resources will come to you.
Wow.
Again, $200 is what started me to have the ability to come home to my home city and create Operation Heal the Ville, that is truly healing the people in our community.
Ty, that's awesome. Like I'm the world's most sought after motivator, and that's awesome. That's great. So, go ahead. Let us know where you are, location, address, where we can find you, your hashtags, your Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever you got. Go ahead.
Okay, so it's a long list, so you get ready to write.
Get ready.
I see, oh, Cheryl. Hey, see Cheryl joined in.
I saw that, so yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I haven't been on this camera so long, I'm hurt a little bit. But anyway, yes, again, I am Tyresha, and I'm the CEO and the founder of T-Posh Naturals. We are now located at 1274 State Street West in Jacksonville, Florida. You can follow us on Facebook at T-Posh Naturals. Many people that come in and give us their testimonials, those videos are posted there. A few of our meals are posted there. On Instagram, we're also at T-Posh Naturals. And our website is www.tposhnaturals.com. In addition to that, you can also join and submit a request to join our Facebook community, which is Sabian Alkaline Hall, What, Why, and How. And that's Sabian spelled with SEBI-AN, Sabian Alkaline Hall, What, Why, and How. And when you join this community, you have over 37,000 people all over the world that are probably thinking like you, probably have some misconceptions about this lifestyle, dealing with the illness, and you don't know how to get out of it. So you wanted to find somewhere to start. When you enter into Sabian Alkaline Hall, there are some really, really, really beautiful people in that group that is really there to help you with your transition and answer your questions. I also want to give a shout out to Stacey Elmore, to Chan Che, which is our fitness coach in the Sabian Alkaline Hall.
Hey.
Tim DeMcGraw, I may have said that wrong, Tim, as well as one more person. Is it Terry? I can't remember your name, but he'll tag in later. Okay. Those are the admins in the Sabian Alkaline Hall, and with my absence, they have been doing a wonderful job with keeping things positive, keeping things clean, and keeping things on track with the African Biomineral Balance. In that group, what we try to do is just give you the basis of what we've all experienced. We don't talk on things that we have not tried ourselves. We're very careful with our answers that we provide for you because we want you to be safe. We are not medical doctors. We've never worked in the medical field, and we would never talk against or tell you not to follow your doctor's instructions. What we do is just help you to frame your mindset to get to the ability where you can align your body and your mind to begin to heal itself, because the body is truly made to heal itself. So come look for us. Every second Friday is our African Biomineral Balance Chop It Up, where we have different topics on a monthly basis. Love, sex, and polygamy topic is coming up.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Third Fridays, we have our open mic. So if you have some poetry, some poem, and things of that nature, please come join us every third Friday. First and fourth Fridays is our game night. So we have some spade players up in here, chess players come in here. And so we just provide a very comfortable, conscious community here at T-Posh Naturals where you can come in and have a conversation and always learn something. No one comes in T-Posh and leaves out without learning something new. And that is the pace that we set in our own community. And eventually we want to get that to where it's all over the world. So just keep praying and keep your fingers crossed that we could have a T-Posh Naturals or something similar all in every state of this country. We need to fuel our people and fuel our community. I wish Dr. Sebi was live and in color to be able to see his work really inspiration and moving so powerful. Unfortunately, after his death, but fortunately, he's given us a gift. I've always said that Dr. Sebi is more like the Moses for the African American or African people altogether. If you follow the biblical stories, you have Moses that came in that guided the Jews from their slavery that they experienced in the past. And this is why they celebrate in Passover to remember how Moses gave them the direction through God to bring their people out of slavery. Well, this is our opportunity where I know, not believe, I know that Dr. Sebi had the ability to execute his passion, and he allowed God to use him as God saw fit, and he has now become the Moses of the African people to get us out of our own slavery and out of our mindset that has kept us so secluded and dumbed down for so many years. Well, Dr. Sebi has opened the gate for that. And to his family that is still living that he left behind, I just want to give all of you the utmost respect and know that your father has changed an entire culture. And people like myself, herbalists like Kenda, Loving Life, Marcus Lamb, Carl Foster as well, and many other herbalists is popping up everywhere.
Oh, Dr.
Auntie
Jamal,
Peaches,
yeah.
Dr. Jamal, Patrick Dells.
Patrick Dells.
These are tomorrow leaders. We are here to make a difference. This is our future.
Absolutely.
So whether you believe it now or not, eventually you will get to a point, because this will be the way of life, because we are popping Alkaline, saving Alkaline all over the place. There's another vegan restaurant with one Dr. Carolina. I think she's in Virginia.
Okay.
She has just opened up her vegan spot.
Okay.
There's another Miss Erica Stevens. Her 16-year-old daughter likes to cook, and they're now opening their own vegan Alkaline vegan spot up in, I believe, North Carolina or Alabama, one or the other. But there are so many of us, and we can do it together. So I'm honored that I told you I can talk.
No, this is great. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And I don't know if I can ask for anything better than this. Is great. This is wonderful. So in closing, just let me recap. So you gotta help me out with this. POHS. What was it that you was dealing with your eyes?
PCOS.
PCOS. You went to sleep one day. Your eyes was shut, closed. The doctors didn't know what was going on. You started researching yourself. You started understanding about the herbs in the body. You started, ingesting it, taking it in. You healed yourself. Of course, through the help of the Most High, you got healed. You healed yourself. You saw that it works. You see the benefit in it. You're an angel, so your family's an angel. So you came to, and it's just in you to help. And that's proof of being an educator, because this is what educators do. They're there to help.
That's right.
You started getting into herbs for $200. You started distributing herbs. You created a Facebook page. You went through a lot. You came back to Jacksonville, and I called you Ty Nelson, but you got married, so it's more. Am I correct?
Right, but that's way old.
Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, you know. Okay, I'm sorry.
I don't even think I did.
I'm sorry. Okay.
We'll stick with Nelson.
Okay, Nelson. Okay. So now you're here in Jacksonville, and you're changing the community. Like like every time I come in here, it's people here, the music, and it's a great atmosphere, and it really is. And I'm not just saying this because we're doing this. Even when I came in tonight, it's great. you're doing big things. You're doing what you wanted to do, what you're allowing the universe to lead you there.
Right.
And it's to help people, and I don't see why this can't be a teapot in every state. I don't see why not. Because the world needs this.
Yes.
The world definitely needs this. So
need.
I'm glad that you're here. I utilized you when you were down south, but to be able to come in here, and if I need to have a sit down and have a consultation, or even bring anybody in to say, hey, this person has this, or whatever, can you talk to them and help them, whatever. You're here, and that's what's important. But you're touchable. You've come from a long way, so I personally want to say thank you because of the things that you've done. The food is excellent. I want to go pick it up right now. It's so good. But if you're in the Jacksonville area, if you're not in the Jacksonville area, and you're looking, yourself or someone is dealing with some sort of ailment, or maybe not, you just want to do healthy. You want to do right. It's been in your mind. It's been in your heart, and you don't know how to start or where to go. Reach out to Tyresha. Reach out to Teapot. She's giving you all the information. She will definitely help you. She's here. She's here for us. She's an angel. She's here for us. Utilize her. I did. I'm still here. I'm still using her in a positive way, not in a negative way. But she's here for us, and we're here for each other. So utilize her and make those people that's close to you healthy. Let them see your own healthy lifestyle and make a change. Just start making a change with our health. When we start changing our diets, our minds change.
Yes.
Our spirituality opens up.
Yes, it does.
And then we grow into who we're created to be.
Your natural state of being.
Right. So it's a wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Ty, I appreciate you.
Thank
I love
you.
you. Sweet things. So this is Arthur Wilson, Motivation in Action. And just always remember this. Always. Persistence always overtakes resistance.
Yes.
You can move a mountain with a spoon if you just keep on digging. Arthur Wilson, Ty Nelson, T-Posh. Naturals.
Operation Heal the Bill.
Operation Heal the Bill. We out. Like, comment, and share. Thank you.